I think the bars are just a piece of liquid history. And I truly think the meaning of hospitality for me is when you realise what people value, then you can have impact on them. And that's when the magic is created. So I think if there's synergy between the glassware and also the menu, I think that would look, if you're looking at that on the table, that would look really nice. My name's Anna Sebastian, and I'm the founder of Anna Sebastian Hospitality, which is a global consultancy agency. And we specialise in commercial and creative strategy in the luxury beverage. So with a big focus on hotels, we engage with them, we look after all of the brand partnerships, but we want to do things with purpose. And the purpose of this is to improve the industry, to make things better, to create a new way of working. But ultimately, you know, I want to leave the industry in a better place. I have this like love story with London, and it's just like chaotic and brilliant, but also hard work sometimes, like every good love story. The great thing about London is it caters for so many people. And I think the diversity that it has allows you to be whoever you want. The great thing about London is it's, you know, these bars can become generational, especially with the hotel bars. And you have people that, you know, their great-great-grandfather or grandmother came to drink here, and then 100 years later, you know, they're drinking there. In 2010, I saw that the Savoy was reopening. I started in 2010 for the reopening as a host in the American Bar. I didn't know anything about bartending or, you know, hospitality or the art of hosting, and didn't really realise that being part of this team was something that was going to change my life. The thing that makes Savoy unique is it was a hotel of many firsts. But one of the stories that I love, it was the first hotel to have lifts, which were known as ascending rooms. If you look at some of the people that have worked here and been part of this and look at what they're doing now, so many of these people are owning their own bars, businesses. They're so successful, and not just in the UK or in London, but around the world. A lot of us wouldn't exist or be here or be where we are in our careers without this hotel.
So when I went for my, I think, 4th interview at the Savoy with the general manager, I was informed that there were about 300 people who applied for the same role, which I was currently interviewed for. So that's really set the tone of expectations, because Savoy is Savoy. American Bar has been there 115 years or so that time, but there were only 9 head bartenders. I was the 10th to get that title, which is already quite scary, that thinking about a century period and only 9 people in front of me, they were holding the title, and some of them, they were working their life until they retired. The University of Bartending is working in a hotel bar. anywhere I went, we never went to a hotel bar. It was always cocktail bar or restaurant or club. And London has this magical thing about it, that hotel bars are part of the cocktail culture that often you would see, or it's quite normal here, that you would be in a hotel bar without being a hotel guest. Because back in the day, that was a conception of people that you would go to a hotel bar only if you would be a resident of the hotel. And London did not have this mindset, which was quite unique about it. And that's why I think the hotel bars become so unique and become almost, I would say, like institutions of the bars that really setting up the standards and creating something quite special.
As much as London is a really diverse city and it's really eclectic, there is still a gross misrepresentation of, you know, kind of whether it's colour or gender and the gender pay gap and all of these things, they still exist.
Yeah.
That's probably why you started Celebrate Her.
Yeah, it was like, for us, it was like that lack of representation of women, especially behind bars. Celebrate Her is a non-profit organisation. It's a community of women within the drinks industry. The main pillars within Celebrate Her are education, wellbeing, community, and through that we get to do some incredible events. We have, within the community, we have just under 500 women around the world in 48 different countries, which is incredible. But actually the beginnings of Celebrate Her was so much smaller. It was born out of a conversation at the end of a shift one night when we were working at Artesian Bar.
They started one night, and I believe they started out of us thinking how many women we had at the bar.
Yeah.
And because we were 50-50, we were kind of wondering how many other bars had that, and so on. And I think that we start to ask ourselves, what can we do?
We were able to start building a community, and slowly it grew and it grew. And we started hosting events and panel discussions and seminars and talks just to really spread the word and spread the message and to talk about the small changes that we could make to improve the industry. We make those positive changes so we can talk positively about the industry. So we need to look at things about the drinking culture. Are people feeling safe on their shift? If something happens with a guest, are they protected by their workplace? What happens when something goes wrong? What is the process to follow? Because undoubtedly in any industry, at some point things go wrong. And I always say we need to prepare for the worst.
We listen to people that come to the bar, our guests. Maybe we see them once, that's it, and never more. But we listen to them. So why we don't listen to our people?
Yeah, and to ourselves as well.
Because when you do that, when you start to listen to yourself, to your feelings, to your doubts, and you listen to the people that are next to you, to your stuff, that's when you understand what you need to do.
It's going to take 133 years, which is 5 generations, to achieve gender parity, unless we all start taking action And I think it's going to be the small things that everybody can do that will make that big difference. And very much alongside some other great communities as well, started opening up that space to have more conversations about diversity, inclusion, equity as well within the drinks. So no matter who you are, however you identify, whether it's male, female, non-binary, that you had a place and you could grow.
So the hotel has a great connection with James Bond, starting from the Broccoli family, which is the historical producer of James Bond, and all the actors that they enter the door in Dorchester, they stay here, they also do celebration in the ballroom. So we said, okay, we need to create the best cocktail. And so instead of creating a version of the Vesper Martini, we create our own Vesper Martini. You can only get this Vesper at the Dorchester because 3 elements in this cocktail are made by us and for us. I had my first job as a bar waiter. Then I started moving slowly behind the bar. Bartender, then senior bartender, then head bartender, the first ever female head bartender at Vesper Bar, and then head mixologist for the entire company, and I ended up being a bar manager. You need to teach people. People need to recognize the skills of the people and put them in the right position, like in a football team.
London is an amazing place because it is a city that I think has always driven the industry forward in terms of its bars, its hotels, its culture, its food, like everything about it. It's also, you know, for me, London is a gateway to other parts of the world. I mean, for me, hotel bars are such a unique place to work. I can't imagine how my life would be if I hadn't worked in hotel bars. I think that's the beauty of hotels. You get to be part of people's lives. People choose to celebrate really big milestones of their life, but also some really poignant ones as well. And it's so special that we get to be part of.
There was a great sentence that my bar manager in Florence taught me. Remember, Lucia, that at the end of the day, all of us, we are a waiter. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're a bar manager, a superstar bartender, someone is winning competition, someone doesn't. This is what you have to keep in mind. Doesn't matter if you are a manager, if you are a boss. But at the end of the day, you need to be at the service of your guest.
I think community is so important because we're all better together than we are on our own.
Yeah,
so,
sure,
you
I
know,
love that.
it works really well for everything, but particularly in this industry, particularly now.
We can't boil the ocean, but what we can do is make small changes. And I think through community, it's through sharing resources and sharing opportunities and also giving people opportunities as well, like deliberately giving people opportunities and that seat at the table. It's so important that we create a culture where people feel safe and happy and where businesses can run in a new way, because businesses 20 years ago now are so different. So I think that's key, that we all have to go with this movement and make those changes and listen and be open and receptive to what the future of this industry should be.